This is a composition project based on a place that's important to you. So I chose a place that was important to me for my project, which is the foyer of the Wellington railway station. I really love this space because it's huge. It's all marble floors and, you know, solid concrete walls, and there's this massive, massive reverb in there as if you're in a cathedral. At the start of the day, there's no one around, so it's really peaceful. It's got this almost churchy kind of a feel. Then suddenly about sort of 6:30, everybody starts coming in on their way to work or, you know, on their way home from work if they're night shift workers. So there's just all these people charging through this space. There's all this noise bouncing off the walls and people running into each other. And it's the contrast between how peaceful it is when there's no one around and how completely mental it is when there's heaps of people around that I was trying to show with the song. So basically I've written a song where there are two different sections, an A section and a B section, that repeat around and around. And one of them is really peaceful to try and give the feel of the place when there's no one there. And the other one's supposed to be sort of slightly frantic to give you the feeling that you get when there's heaps of people there, when they're all running around. One thing I wanted to do was to capture some of the real sounds of the place. So because I wanted to do a vocal, and I wanted the vocal to have a big reverb, I thought I may as well go down there, record myself singing, and hopefully not get thrown out by security or stared at by too many passers-by. I managed not to be thrown out by security, but I was stared at by quite a few passers-by. As I thought it would be. So there's two quite different ideas I'm trying to get across with this song. One is the sort of peacefulness you get in the foyer when there's no one else around, and the other is how frantic and frenetic it gets when there's heaps of people charging through it. So the A and B sections had different musical ideas to try and get across one or the other feeling. I didn't want too many instruments in the A section because obviously it's supposed to be spacious, it's supposed to be quiet. So I just went for voice, 4 voices singing in harmony, and violin, 3 violins playing the same thing together. So the voice is playing a big fifth, a C on the bottom and a G on the top, just because I think that big fifth sounds really churchy. It sounds like this. And then you have the violins, which are all playing this slide up to a C. That's supposed to just support the voices, and the other thing is that slide gives it just a slight air of a sort of train whistle, or you know, that kind of bluesy train feel, so just to connect with the fact that it's a train station. I also took a bit of ambient noise from the railway station. That was just to basically add a genuine kind of feel to it. If you have some of the noises that are from the actual place, it obviously gives you a really great feel for the place. So just took a little loop of some people walking around. You can hear that here. So those are the musical ideas for the A section. The B section's obviously got more instruments because I wanted it to sound busier. And so I've gone for a sort of adapted amen break on the drums, which is like the break that's used in all drum and bass music. I've played it slightly differently, but it's still got the same sort of driving feel. Sounds like this. And then on top of that, we have the bongos, which add up to quite a busy sort of a feel, sounding like this by themselves. And then like this with the drums. Okay, so as far as the bass goes, it's a double bass, electric double bass, and it's a blues riff basically on a pentatonic sort of a scale with a couple of slides in it. I just like the sort of jazzy feel that it added to the beats, and it's sort of backed up by a 70s wah guitar, which adds to that sort of general kind of like mystery movies sort of feel in that bit. So I had two ideas for the organ. One was it's a churchy kind of an instrument. So we have a sort of peaceful churchy feel in the first section, and I wanted to carry that over just in a small way into the frantic section that we have after that. So my idea was to use that fifth, the C and the G in the organ, and also to have a discord as well. So it's referring back to the A section, but also it's got that kind of mental weird feel that I wanted the B section to have. So that sounds like this. You can hear the fifth first, and you can hear the discord after. It just goes around and around like that. In the B section, the violins are still present, but instead of doing that long, slidey sort of train whistly note that I was trying to do in the A section, in the B section they're just doing a real staccato octave from a G down to another G. And it's kind of a tense feeling. I did a lot of accented notes and that kind of thing, and I just wanted to sort of add to the feeling of tension in that section, and so that's all the violins are doing there. Really simple part. Sounds like this. And when the B section comes back again, there's a lead guitar part which is built on the chromatic scale. I like the sound of the chromatic scale over the top of what's basically just a riff in C with a few funny discords. Once you add a chromatic sort of riff over the top with the guitar, it starts to sound really quite discordant. There's a lot of notes that are clashing with each other, and that's kind of supposed to give you the idea of people running into each other in the station, or, you know, just being generally in a hurry and kind of confused, and that's the sort of feeling I wanted the B section to have. The whole song is built structurally A, B, A, B, A. The A sections are the quiet ones, and the B ones are the more frantic ones. And what I've used is terraced dynamics to try and add interest to the song throughout. So when the A section first comes in, it's just one violin, one voice, and then it builds up two violins, two voices, three violins, three voices, and so that's adding to the dynamics as we go up. The first B section has just about all the instruments in at once, but it doesn't have the lead guitar. So when we go back into the B section again, the lead guitar is stacked on top just to add another level of terrace dynamics there. And then the whole thing comes back down when it goes into the third A section. We start with four voices, three violins, and we work our way down. And so it all ends with just one voice, one violin, and then out onto the ambient noise at the end.